Well, hey, and welcome to your morning jumpstart today. If you're new around here, again, I just want to say welcome. And my name is Shalisa. I'm a confidence coach and mentor. And what really lights me up is having people's lives impacted as they discover their true identity and do things with courage and confidence that maybe they didn't feel that they could do before. That's just where my heart is and what makes me excited. So I'm so glad that you're here. The last time that we talked, we were talking about toxic relationships and how to identify if we have those operating in our lives and evaluate what to do with those relationships. So if that's something that maybe you would be interested in learning about, then I want to invite you to go and check out that video. But today, on the flip side of that, I want to talk about creating healthy relationships. And I want to give you 5 friendship tips today that will really help you to form a lasting bond. But before we get into that, I just want to update you on a project. If you haven't noticed already, guys, God is on the move and he's doing some really, really big things. And Satan's doing whatever he can to disrupt it. So I just want to be here to give you some encouragement today. And if you have something that's on your heart, I just want to invite you to get moving. Do something with it. If it's been placed in your spirit to do it, it's time to get into action. So I really want to be able to come alongside with you guys. So I'm actually launching my 28 Days to Brave workshop, and it's going to be coming in July. This is an opportunity to be able to work one-on-one with me, and it's going to give you foundational steps that you need in order to again, cultivate that confidence and take action in your life with aligning yourself with your purpose and living life on purpose. So I'm super excited about that. Keep your eyes peeled for more on that project. But we'll go ahead and get into today, right? So we're talking about friendships. And I, for one, I used to operate with the mindset that the more the merrier, basically. I wanted to have as many friends as I could. I just wanted everyone to like me. I wanted to be super approachable and just to always leave a good impression with people. And so for me, like, I was just always wanting to make all these friends and have all these friends and invite people to do things with me all the time. But I also had really, really great deep connections. And, especially with 2020, what we've gone through this last year as I'm recording this video, I just realized more and more how important it is to have real solid, deep relationships with people and people that you can count on to check on you and that you'll have those people that have your back. I mean, it's just really important. And so that inspired me to talk about this today, because I think it's also important, even though it's hard sometimes, to have those friendships as we get older. I still think it's very important. So I wanted to touch on that today. But I am curious. I'd like to hear from you. So pop it down in the comments for me. I want to know, where are you at with your friendships? Do you have those relationships that maybe date really far back, that you've been friends forever and you have a great relationship and you're still connected to this day? Or, maybe those same people, you've just lost touch with them, but you still consider them to be really, really close friends to you. And if you reached out today, that you would basically rekindle that really quickly. Maybe you feel like you really don't have anybody there for you. I'm just kind of curious where that is. Maybe you lack that genuine connection and you're looking to create those in your life. So let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear from you where you're at. But I'm going to go ahead and get out these 5 tips real quick while you're typing in the comments below. So I want to give you these 5 tips to really help you be able to further cultivate those relationships in your life. It's not too late. It's never too late to develop those friendships. And it may be a little harder, but it's worth it. It's so worth it to have that community. And so I want to give you these 5 tips now. Tip number 1 is to get connected. By that I mean connect with your Creator, with Creator God, with Father God. Reconnect with Him and reconnect with yourself, because I think it's important to have a to fall in love again with who you are, to have confidence in yourself, to know what you're about, to know what your boundaries are, what are the types of relationships that are fitting for you. It's first important to have that relationship with God and to have that relationship with yourself, where you love God and you love yourself. If you're not full, then you have nothing that you can give to someone else. So I want to encourage you to do that as your very first step here. Tip number 2 is to obviously connect with others, right? To be brave and to begin to ask someone out for coffee. Whether it's someone that you've known for a long time and you just want to reconnect with them and see how things are going, or it's somebody that you've never really maybe given the shot to see what's there. Is there a friendship that could be developed there, a real deep connection with somebody? So it takes a little bit of bravery sometimes, especially these days, just to be able to put yourself out there and to kind of like in the dating world in a way. You're developing these connections with people. So I want to invite you as step number 2 or tip number 2 to get connected with others. Give them a chance. Tip number 3 is to practice vulnerability. In order for us to build genuine relationship with people and genuine connections, we have to be willing to be vulnerable. And I'm not necessarily talking about on day number 1, you're spilling your guts out and you're telling people all about your life, but being open enough to be vulnerable, maybe in a small way, and see where that is, see where that relationship could possibly be, and begin to really open yourself up and be vulnerable and break down some barriers, break down some walls, and really do life with people. I think these days it's so easy just to tell people, hey, everything is great. I'm doing great. Life is good. And yes, it is. But there's some times when we just need to be honest with ourselves and be honest with other people and be able to give somebody the opportunity to have our back, right? To be able to give them the chance to speak life into you. You have to be able to be willing and able to open yourself up for that to happen. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is to give and receive. This kind of goes back to the toxic relationships. Sometimes we have relationships in our life where we just give, and never really get anything in return. But really, for a healthy relationship of any type, including friendships, it needs to be a give and take, There needs to be, I like to call it the friendship bank. So if you've got things that are deposited into your bank because your relationship with other people, they're giving to you in a healthy way, and you're able to deposit things into your bank account, then with other relationships, you're able to give back to them because you have something to give. So there's an exchange there, and it's important to have relationships where it's not always give, or take. So we have to be able to evaluate where we are and ask ourselves, are we a take person? Are we a give person? Because neither one of those is healthy, and we need to be able to both give and receive. So is there an even spread here? So that's tip number 4, to make sure that you're in that place. Tip number 5 is to try something new. Okay, be open to new experiences. Be willing to do something kind of outside of your comfort zone, and do it with other people so that you can have that experience together. I mean, there's lots of things that I've, and even in recent years, just been really brave in doing, and they've been firsts for me. And it's such a great thing when you're doing it with other people, because then you can talk about it. Then you can just like develop a real meaningful connection there, because you can say, hey, we did this and that was so awesome, and it was scary and it was fun and all the things, right? So be open-minded to trying new things as long as they're healthy. I'm not talking about doing anything that's unhealthy for you, but be open to trying new things and experiencing things for the first time with other people. So when you're invited maybe to do something that you've never done before, but they've done it, be open-minded and ask yourself, could this potentially be something that we can really connect on? And maybe it's something that we'll have a lot of fun doing. I'll say one thing that comes to my mind immediately is there was a couple of girls that invited me to go rock climbing with them. And I was terrified, you guys, I was terrified to do this. But I ended up having a lot of fun. And still to this day, like, it's a good memory that I truly cherish with those people. And it's something that we were able to connect with. And so anyway, there's just opportunities to have fun with people and experience things for the first time. So I want to invite you to be open-minded in that area. But that's your 5 tips for today. So really, I hope that this was helpful and that you've learned something today. If you've learned and loved what you've learned today, what you've learned today, I want to invite you to also check out the link below where you'll find my 4-day confidence jumpstart. It's free. But it is something that I really poured myself into in order to help people to really take a step in confidence. So I want you to check that out below. Also, don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you're on YouTube, I want to invite you to also subscribe to the channel so that way you get the latest and greatest updates. But that's all I have for you today. So just tune in for the next morning jumpstart with me, and we'll talk again soon.